Okay, so it's time to put on the hardware. I have the guitar right here, and we need to add some stuff. Still don't have a nut, but hopefully I'm gonna make one. You know, I mean, not hopefully I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna make one. But yeah. You know when you're holding tape and you go throw it and then it's stuck to you? So you don't throw nothing. You don't throw nothing. Yes. My English isn't what it's supposed to be. I should be better at expressing myself. But that's alright. Look at that. That's a pretty cool guitar, right? Wow. Or at least somewhat cool. I hope you guys are liking it. I think it looks cool. I'm surprised. I'm gonna be honest with you for a second here. I'm pleasantly surprised. The vision I had in my head of the guitar is not super far off from what we have, but I didn't think it would look this cool. Actually, I hope that the relicking will make it look even cooler, because that's a part in my head that beaten up, it's gonna look really cool. So yeah. Okay, let's delve into this. First, we have the bridge somewhere around there, right? Yeah. We have the bridge, right? Yeah, here it is. It's a little dusty, but other than that, I think this will do nicely. And first off, we have to try to make sure, because I have scratched it up right here, because it's a black bridge, and black chrome is not, I don't know, it doesn't seem to want to play nicely with other, with the electronics. Let's see here. Here is the bag of screws. I hope the screws for the bridge are in here. Just gonna pour them out here on the side. Yeah. Here we have a couple of screws. These are let's 1, 2, wait. There's supposed to be 5, but there's only 4, and the 5th one is a different screw. I have a spare parts drawer here. There's some more black screws in it there. That has to be, yeah. Mix up, just a tiny little mix up. It's all good. See if we can find the right screwdriver, the head of the screw, you know, the bit. Fit it in, not this one, it wobbles a little bit in it. It's very important that you use the right screw head, especially if you're going to use a power drill to mount the screws, which is what we're going to do, because I don't want to have to hand tighten all of these. So find the right one, and I'm going to use one of these. Extension on my drill, so that I can get in the right place. Okay, let's add this one first, and just go down a bit. You know, stop a little bit ahead. Take the next screw. Seriously? There you are. No, come back. I'm gonna re-drill that hole. It doesn't. It's not good. so it just looks a little wonky. Oops. And maybe you could see that the bridge was sort of lifting up. And that's because we have a wrong screwdriver. That's because we have a blob underneath that is being pushed. So switch out to the drill bit again. And go back up and forth a little bit. If you notice that your drill is losing a lot, you can tighten it and then back it off just one click, and that locks it. I saw a video online with someone talking about that, and how most people don't know that, and all the comments were people saying like, "Oh, I never knew that existed," and stuff. And so I thought it was maybe a good idea that I tell you. Because like all drills are built with that function. You twerk it one way and then flick it one back. It's one of those things, you know, you build things for so many years, you take stuff for granted. You know, there are probably other things that I've missed, but almost. I want to get it down as far as I can, and then we can go into the hand cranking. And you don't have to overtight, just to the point where you feel like, you know what, it is, you know, it's taking more effort to pull it down than what I'm willing to give. If that makes any sense, I don't know. Does that make any sense? What I'm saying is when you feel it going up against the force of you pushing it down, that's when to stop. And then we have this jack right here that I'm just gonna see if I can push back the wire in a bit. Something like that. And then let's see if we can add these screws as well. I don't know if you guys remember me pre-drilling. I want to speak. These holes in the last video. Something like that. I'll come back with a screwdriver and hand tight it just a little bit. Something like that. Now, this step is super important, and it is one of those things that I like to do now and get out of the way before we do anything else. And that is, I'm taking my multimeter, and again, as in every video that I've ever made where a multimeter shows up, we're putting it to continuity. That was not supposed to be a joke, it's just funny to me because it's true. And yeah, first off, I want to hold it against the plate and the bridge. You see, there's no sound. Now I want to hold it against the jack. And as you can see, I have a little scratch mark up here, and I get a sound. But if I hold it against the actual, I'm not actually getting a sound. So I hope. Yeah, I get a sound in the holes here. So hopefully I can touch the strings eventually and get continuity. And that's one of the reasons why I don't really like the black hardware, but I don't have a guitar with black hardware, and I'm thinking that this will look cool. But we might, for example, change out, since we have some silver, you know, black and silver things going for us, we might change out like the saddles for, I don't know, maybe vintage style chrome ones. I don't know, that could be cool. I think I have a couple lying here somewhere. Yeah, I have these vintage style forest guitar supply. I don't know what that is, but I have them lying. I actually bought them for Mikey, my other guitar, but we might get new ones, but not today, not in this build series. That will have to be like an upgrade thing. I'm just going to change the angle a little bit. Whoa. Okay, there we have the guitar. Let's add some pickup screws. So let's first switch out the bit, pull it in, tighten it, flick it back once. It's not going anywhere. We have these two screws holding this pickguard in place to make sure, you know, nothing moves, and we can go around and poke like this. So, and then let's just go around and drill. Okay, where are the screws? Here they are. Ah, sorry. Bump into the camera. Here I have some black screws. Let's see if we can get them in. We should be able to get them in, at least somewhat. Right, wait. So, first one. Just pull it down far enough so it's securely in there. Leave half a mil or a mil for tightening later. Right now I feel like maybe some black, maybe black screws were the wrong decision. Maybe chrome looks nicer. I don't know. Okay, let's see if we can tighten down the black ones a little bit, just a hand crank or two. Again, it's not supposed to like be super forcefully in there, pushing like all your manhood, sorry, into it. You don't need to like overdo it, you know, just when you feel like the screws are in there securely and it's not super easy to. That one's a little bit weird. Yeah. Let's see if I have two more screws, because we need to replace these two silver ones. I hope I have more black screws, because I bought a lot of black screws. And I don't understand why they're not here. Thought there would be. Wait, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, usually come in a bag of 12s. Oh wait, did I miss? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right! I haven't. I have a lot of chrome screws, but where are all my black screws? I almost came up with a joke there, but it was too inappropriate. Let's stop. Okay, we're moving on because I can't find them, and yeah, I'll just have to go get some more. We're gonna start off by we're gonna attach these Schaller tuners that I have right here, to the guitar. And so first we have to resize these holes to 10 mil. And I have one of these step bits right here. It's gonna do the job. And I like to go down to something like in this case I'm going down to 6 mil. And then moving on to the next one. And I've already drilled these holes, so I know that they're perfect. And the point here is I'm feeling the bit on the other side, and And so I know if I'm going to get tear outs because I'm not drilling far enough to go out the other side. Because I'm stopping when I get too close. I'll just move this over and it should look... See? Nothing. Let's just do it again. See? Looks out of frame. Oh, I'll zoom out. We'll see. You see how it's they all look nice? And then I go up to the 8. Like so. And I flip the guitar over, and I can do the 8 on this side as well. Something like that, I think. Give me a sec. Yeah, looks good. Okay, and now we'll go to 10. And we just go, because the next step is 12, we can use this edge here of the cutter as a reamer thing to soften up the edge. And if we break the edge a little bit around when the pressure is on, we don't crack the finish. Now, we don't really have the kind of finish, but it will still be good for us. Shit. I went a little bit farther. But it's okay. It's not gonna matter that much. Let's see if we can get a tuner in there. Come on. Come on. It's a tight fit, but it fits. Then we just screw them in. First we just high tighten them, you know. And I'm running out of battery, so we'll see how far I get before the camera just suddenly died. And I have to go see if I can find a battery for it. Oh, right. Right. Forgot. You will end up with a meeting point You have to fix that. See? Didn't pop it back. There we go. Hopefully that went well. Somewhat I got a little tear out on the front. That's a bump. That's what happens when you're being a little bit too fast. Yeah? Which I was being. I'm just screwing them in place. I don't know, is this entertaining to see me stand here and attach tuners? Is that fun? I don't think it is, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, if you guys like it or if you don't. Shibbidi-bop-dibbidi-dum. And I've only finger tightened them, so I can move them. As you can see, they're not. They might be a little close to each other, which is strange because I used a template. But maybe they are a little bit different than normal sized tuners, and I hadn't taken that into account, but I feel like they're a little close. I don't know. I don't know. Whew. Something like that. Then we can just try to align them. Take a ruler, put it over where the screws are going, push it up against, and just move them about a bit. I don't know, I hope you can see what I'm doing. Something like that. I think that's good. Just finger tighten them a little bit more. Do I have my tool for tightening these? Of course I don't. It's another one of those insanely hot days that are making me go a little bit crazy. So, yeah. If I'm being weird, it's because I am dying today again. Oh well. It's not necessarily important what you use as long as you are able to screw things down. We need to tighten these a little bit just so we can get... I'm going to use these poly just so I can get a little bit of a tighter. And there are better tools for doing this, but I misplaced it. And it's too warm to care. I know I'm gonna scratch something now, but it's just gonna have to be part of the relicking, you know? Because I can't find anything and I can't be bothered. Which is not the correct way of doing things. But at some point I will, and I want to as well, build a more pristine looking guitar. And now that they are a little bit tighter, it's a little bit harder to move them, but that's kind of good because that means that I can forcefully move these into where I want them so they line up. I think that's correct. And we can pre-drill a hole. Be super careful so you don't go through the entire headstock. That, and then here we have the screws. Oh right, and the little made my own string tree as well. But we'll take a look at that in a bit. I think actually we won't, because that's always the last thing I install. I don't add that until everything is together. So I suppose you could say that that's one hardware we're not gonna add. But we're adding these screws to the back of the tuners. Just get them in there. I imagine that this is not going to be a very fun episode because, yeah, I mean, most of you have probably at some point done something like switch out tuners or something, and I don't think I have anything special to add. But yeah, I don't know. These screws are so tiny that I would never drill them in with a machine, because if I over-tighten them just the slightest bit, the head will break off, and then I will have to dig out the screw and do some repair work. I mean, sorry, for that, and it will just be super duper annoying. And I don't feel it. I don't feel like. Am I in the way? I don't feel like. I don't feel like doing repair work. So hand tightening them down, making sure they feel snug and tight. When you feel like I can't move it anymore, you know, then you don't have to move it anymore. It's fine. It's all good. There we go. Last screw. There. Something like that. A good thing to do, which I would recommend you all do, is come back and re-tighten them a little bit later, you know, so that because the wood and the screw and the metal and all, you know, it will all react to each other. And yeah, these screws are for plate, so we are not going to use them. I'll put them away and maybe I'll use them on something else. Okay, let me just, these two screws we need, I'll put them over there. I'll move you guys back a little bit. here. I'll put you over here. I suppose one really big thing that is maybe not being really discussed in this build series is keeping your working area clean. You know, which is super important, especially when you're getting to the parts that we're getting to, where you know we are trying to do stuff. You know. But yeah, the tuners are in, and I'm just gonna tighten them the very last bit here, something like that. And I don't recommend using this, but I need to clean up in here, but I have too much to do. I don't have time for it. I need an intern. If any of you are willing to pay me to be my intern, and you know, I don't know, that's then you guys can contact me on Instagram. That whole thing was a joke. I don't imagine anyone would pay to be an intern, and if that has ever occurred, I'm sorry, because you should not have to pay for work. You should. I scratched it. Damn it. See that little... Ah, you can't see it. Something like that. It's all good. I'm gonna probably... We'll see. Come back and retighten them. Okay. I'm just gonna look for the strap buttons because we need them. And then we can tighten them down. Alright, so let's put in the strap button on the back here. And first we have to remove this. Now, we might have a problem here. And that is, you know, in order to be able to hang the guitar up, I have to put in these pretty hefty little, you know, hooks. So we might have to fill this hole or use it. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about that. Because that, I can put it in and take it out. And yeah, we could fill the hole, definitely, but maybe we'll just use a real screw. Okay, so this is going to be super controversial, and I know that some of you've seen this before and you don't think this is a good idea. But actual real wood screws, you know, that are made to hold things together, and that are oversized and overkill, they are a lot better than the ones you get for your guitar. You know? Like I don't really understand why guitars don't come with better screws. It is actually one of those things where I'm a little bit confused. So I have these screws, and I think we're just gonna switch out both of them for these instead. Because I mean, like, yeah, sure, we could fill that hole, and maybe we still do, but put the screw through. Don't forget the little plastic thing. If you want something better than these, then you can make them out of leather, and for most guitars I actually do that because it's such a much better thing to have a piece of leather there. But I can't be bothered with that right now, actually, if I'm going to be honest. Whew. My question is, will this just go in? I mean, yes, obviously it will, but do I need to... Do I need to... What am I trying to say? Do I want to fill that hole before I do that? I don't think I need to. I think it's going to be good the way it is. Find the right bit. put it into the drill and put that in. There we go. Something like that, and it's in. And yeah, super easy. You could put some black paint if you care over that little thing. Let me just realign things. Okay, so now I'm gonna drill out the hole here. I've put down a piece of tape and now I'm gonna try to measure out. I think that somewhere around here is where I want it because I want a straight line. If I put it up here, it's always gonna fall off. Now I'm using locking tuners, but I still want to do this correctly. So let's see what. Gotta take this measurement and split it in half, and then draw out a central line. At least try to. Come on, pen, don't be a nuisance. Right. Let's get a ruler. See if we can align those two. This is one of the reasons why having flexible rulers and having rulers that are the opposite of flexible, whatever that is a good idea. So now I have a center line and I want it roughly there. Let's take an awl. I think I'm going to move it down a little bit just to be on the safe side. Something like that. Just do a mark. And then let's take our drill and our screw and let's change for this one. And can you guys see something? Let's do it as straight as possible. And I try to drill, obviously as straight as I can, but also I use something that is a little bit under this. You don't want it to be the size of the teeth. So let's take this and see if we can get this old screw out without too much hassle off. Come on, get out of there, stupid screw. Take this screw, put it in, and a little plastic as well. And remove this tape. And let's put this in to the hole. Just place it in there. Take our screwdriver. And let's see if we can get it in there. And I sort of go slow at the end. And there I can just hand crank it a little like that. And now it's in. Let's move some of these things out of the way so we don't bump the guitar too much at least. Another pair of screws. Alright, I think that's all the hardware, right? Except for string tree and I don't know, the nut is not a part of the hardware, is it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, the guitar is looking rather cool. I like it. I realize that some of you might think that it's a little bit too much of a sloppy paint job, but it's an experiment. Wait and see. Okay? Don't be hasty. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna try not to ramble. I hope you like the videos. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next video, hopefully. Bye-bye for now.